Hey guys, kinggath here, and in this video we're going to talk about the ASAM sensor, which has menus that allow you to control individual plots. Now before I show you the actual menu options, I want to show you a special thing about interior plots. So on the exterior plots, it's generally very easy to access the ASAM sensor. It's this little gadget that appears on the post. It's usually right below the for rent sign. And it's generally accessible due to the way exterior plots work. But because interior plots can sometimes end up with furniture blocking your path to even enter the room that they're in, we've actually made it so that you don't need to activate the ASAM sensor, which you still can. It's on the side of the fuse box, but if for some reason you can't access it, you can look at anywhere on the floor of the plot and you'll be able to access the options menu, which is the same thing as activating the ASAM sensor. So we're going to come over here and click on this on the ASAM sensor on this plot. All right, the first option will do exactly what you expect and close out of the plot options menu. The next option is the one that most of you are going to be interested in, which is choose building plan. So we're going to go ahead and hit this. And this will generate a list of all of the building plans that you have available that are unlocked currently. And I say unlocked currently because for certain plot types, especially the advanced industrial, certain building plans will only become available as certain things happen within your game. So once the list shows up, you can choose the building plan that you want. Now this first option will always appear, and this is random. This will do exactly what you would think. It would randomly select one of the available options you have here. In general, when you pick an option, you will be given some information. Now some of the older add-on packs before that feature was enabled won't have it, but the vast majority of them will have it. So when you activate one of these, you will get an option telling you whether you want to build this or cancel. And sometimes there'll be extensive information from the add-on pack author about things you can expect from their building plan. Other times it will just have a simple name such as this one. But whenever you're satisfied with the one you want, simply hit build this and then exit out of this container. And shortly after you do so, you should see the plot update and it will start constructing the next building plan. Now, of course, it does require a settler sign, which I don't have currently, but you can see that something happened. And if you wanted to confirm that the building plan changed, you could hit the look at plaque option and you would see that the design you chose is listed at the top there. Next up, we have manage upgrades. We're going to skip this for now as it's a little more advanced and isn't used by everybody, but we'll come back to it at the end. All right, next up is Find Owner. And Find Owner will start a miscellaneous quest you can track so that you can figure out where the person assigned to this plot is, and it'll also put a marker on the plot itself so that if you forget which one you were tracking, you'll be able to trace it back. So if you hit Find Owner and then head into your data tab under miscellaneous, you'll see building, lot, and occupants. And if you activate this, you will get a marker on the plot and one on the owner. And if you ever want to clear that, you can come back to the ASAM sensor, click Find Owner again, and it will clear off that objective. Next up, we have View Plaque, and just like you can do on the plot itself. And the reason for that being on there, and it's the same for Find Owner, both of those are added to options on the ASAM sensor because there are a lot of mods out there that will change the activations of various objects. So by putting them on the ASAM sensor as well, it ensures that you don't need a special patch if any mods are altering the effects of activating workshop items. Next up, and you'll notice that we had to keep pressing down below there. If you look on the left, there is a little down arrow to indicate that there are more options over there. I know a lot of people have missed that in the past. So next up is Refresh Plot. This is a very useful one, especially if an add-on pack author or us in the main Sim Settlements team updates something about a particular building plan. If you want to get access to those changes, you can hit Refresh Plot. And what that will do is basically take everything down and then recreate it really quickly. And really quickly being in air quotes there, because occasionally it can take a little while depending on how many items there actually are. But just know if you find the plot acting strangely, if it seems stuck in construction or something doesn't appear to be spawning, this is one of the things you can try to do to get it fixed. All right, next is the Customize Plot menu. So entering here, you will find a few different options depending on the particular plot you're looking at. For example, the Change Foundation is not available on the interior plots, and the Change Plot Type option is not available on some of the foundation plots that have foundations built into them, but it is available on the other types. So Change Foundation will allow you to place a foundation underneath the plot. So when you select this, you're going to get a select menu that's similar, but not exactly the same as the Choose Building Plan menu. This is the new format of menus in Sim Settlements performance, and going forward, this is how they will all look, and this is how they will all function. Now, some of the ones we have already in the mod can't easily be changed to this new format yet without having a lot of add-on pack authors edit their add-ons, so it's something that will likely take a while. So at the time of this video, it is not applied, and we will try and update the video once it's done to show you the new method for choosing building plans when we switch to that. So the differences between this and the choose building plan are that rather than all of your options being on the right, they are now on the left. And the benefit to that is as you select them, you don't have to have a confirmation menu, and you can instead see on the right which one's about to be built. And there's a secondary benefit, which is that you can do pseudo randomization. So if you place the ones that you might want in this option on the right, or in the screen on the right rather, you will know that it's going to randomly select between one of those. And if you want to cancel out an option, you just pick it back up and put it back in your inventory. So once you're satisfied with the options on the right, you press accept, confirm the trade, and then exit the menu, and it will choose at random between one of the ones you left on the right side of the screen. All right, now we're going to head back into Customize Plot, and we're going to use Change Plot Type. And what this does is allows you to change a plot from one type to another. So we're going to convert this residential plot into an advanced industrial. So you activate that. It will swap the plot out, and know that it's okay if the position doesn't look exactly the same. Most of them, the poles are actually different on the plots, and they exist in slightly different positions, so they're not always going to line up perfectly, but it is designed so that the plot's base will actually end up in the exact same position, so your building will occupy approximately the same space as the previous plot. And as you can see, it's swapped over, and we'll be able to come in here and select a building plan, and it will show up as one of the advanced industrial options. And there we go. Next, we're going to talk about the Manage Upgrades menu. But before we do, I just want to note that this Access Stockpile option that appeared here, this is unique to the advanced industrial plots and will be covered in the video on advanced industrial plots. So if we go into Manage Upgrades, there are two more options here that are unique to Advanced Industrial. There's a reason they're called Advanced, and we'll go over these two in that video as well. So for now, we're just going to talk about these next two options, Upgrade Building and Allow Auto Upgrades. So Upgrade Building will take a plot that's currently ready to upgrade and trigger that upgrade. Now, most of the time you don't ever have to hit this yourself. It will happen automatically. But if you change upgrades to manual, which there's a lot of reasons to do that, then you would need to come in here and press this button. Now, the manual upgrades are most useful on the advanced industrial plots, and you'll understand when you watch that video, but there are other reasons you might want to use it. For example, if you're doing a scarcity playthrough and you don't have a lot of resources, you might not want your plots to upgrade too quickly because of how dynamic needs works, and that it might put too much pressure on your save as far as what resources you can afford to hand out. For example, if all of your plots start requiring more defenses and more power too quickly, you might not have the resources to keep up. So switching to manual upgrades in that case could be useful. You might also want manual upgrades if you're having trouble with FPS or stability, because every time a plot upgrades, it obviously gets a more complicated model, and that can add more stress to your game. And then I could also see you wanting to switch to manual upgrades if you just really like to have fine-tuned control. If you're very, very particular about when things change in your settlement, or like perhaps you really like a particular model, you could ensure that they don't upgrade without your permission. And that leads us to our next option. So allow auto upgrades actually might say prevent auto upgrades for you. And the idea here is that you can, on a plot-based level, override the global settings. So right now I have manual upgrades on, but you could come to this plot and allow it to auto upgrade anyway. So if I click allow auto upgrades, now this plot, whenever it's eligible, will automatically upgrade without my interference, even though I have manual plots set on as a global setting. And then you'll see that once you have switched a local plot to allow auto upgrades, the option will switch to prevent auto upgrades, because you can click it again to switch this plot back to manual. Now, once you mess with this option, once you change it at the plot level, it will ignore the global settings forever, and you'll need to control it at the plot level. All right, now the last thing I'm going to show you, I can't actually show you because we don't have a plot that's in this state, but if you ever go to the plot options menu on the ASAM sensor and you find at the very bottom down here below Customize Plot that you have an option called Destroy Plot, you should almost always click it. So essentially, if a plot is not connected to a settlement, and this can happen occasionally due to, for example, a city plan placing a plot outside of the boundaries, or if a mod author was playing around with plots in the creation kit and left one in the game world, there are a number of reasons a plot could end up in the game and not attached correctly to a settlement to where it is unable to function. It will offer you the destroy plot option because in those circumstances, it's unlikely you'd be able to scrap it. So if you ever see destroy plot, something is wrong with that plot and you should probably click it. All right, guys, that should cover everything you need to know about ASAM sensors. Stay tuned for more videos to cover additional content on sim settlements.